This is the current market for PDAI right now. So let's look at that. So like I said, I am actually waiting for a little bit of a retracement here. I mean, it's been happening. It's been happening very slowly. There's been like a grind here of like a accumulation. So I do see maybe a pullback down back to here. So I'm thinking that if it gets back down to like under 0.0018, this area, I'm going to buy back in. But yeah, there's been a lot of accumulation with PDAI, a lot of different things happening. And the more I read on it, the more I involve myself in the narratives of it, it feels very familiar. It feels very familiar. And I couldn't put my finger on it until recently. But it reminds me of in the beginning days when the newer projects were just copying off of Bitcoin and launching. And, you know, there's no leader, there's no founder, there's no foundation. It was just a new project. And just launching. Then it's like, hopefully some people use this, you know, and it starts getting used. There wasn't a lot in the beginning, so it was like, oh, brand new, cool, let's jump into it. Nowadays, there's over 2.5 million coins, much harder. You can't just create a new project and like expect people to jump into it. Pulse Chain was very similar to how those initial projects were launched, especially with stablecoins. Okay, the stablecoin narrative right now is huge. It's huge. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase just came out and talked about that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, there should be some regulation around stablecoin remittance, like creating that from the different projects, the different platforms here in the US. So getting regulation on that sense is a good thing. It's a good thing because it's going to give us, you know, more clarity. So I really see this being an amazing project because it's the first time that they put the admin keys, not the admin keys, but they put the responsibility of the treasury to the many, right? It's the first time we have a stable coin that's in the hands of the many. Very different way to diversify that system, that ecosystem. So there's a lot of really great stuff, when it comes to PDAI and what's coming around the corner. So I'm telling you, these prices are in a few months, we're going to look back and go, whoa, what happened? And I really believe just in these next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to see a huge turnaround. So how do we get PDAI? It's still not too late. We're still, it's at a price. Let me just give you guys an idea here. So when I shared PDAI to our community, I'm going to say it was around right here. It was like
the slippage is really high though right now, right? Was that because of this consolidation?
Nope, it was intentional. They removed, it was a reaction from the community when there was this like extractor. So what they did was they just removed all liquidity. So any amount that was being sold would make a massive move. And that was, so think about it like this. The community decided, they said, we don't care about the dollar price right now. We care about them taking our PDAI. So they removed all their PDAI, put it into storage, and they're like, you can take the little rest that's there, the little bit that's there, which is only $45,000 worth of liquidity. So it's you know, the liquidity that's currently available, it's very spread, like it's very thin books right now. And so yes, the movements are dramatic, but I've noticed that when it gets to certain price points, and that's what's been happening for the last like week or so, as it's moving, when it gets to a certain price point, you have bots coming in and adding a bunch of liquidity, right? So then a bunch of liquidity comes in at certain price points, and then whoever's selling they have a floor now. There's a floor that they can sell into. So that's been going up little by little by little. We had a little bit of a pullback here, but I think that was just a bull trap. And we're not going to see these prices anymore, but that's what's happening here. There's a consolidation happening. So yeah, it's still very early. And like I mentioned, this is what I was going to say. So I got everybody in around here. It was like right at the end of 2023, beginning, was it? Maybe it was more February. It was probably around right here. But we all went through this one, and then we went through that one all together. And so it's been for these same price points. Well, let's count it from here. We're going back to August 2024 prices. And so all the people that are coming in new, you have a chance to buy at prices that we were holding since August, and most likely make gains very quickly because we're going to make a big turn here very quickly. Look at this too. You see the volume right here? So this is the volume when we had the all-time high. That's how much volume got sold at that top. Look how much was bought at this bottom. Much higher, almost double the volume of what happened here at these high prices. So yeah, that's another little key situation. There's a much higher volume at these prices than we've had at the top. That's always a good sign. It means that there's more people buying here than there were selling. Bailey just said, "Is in my Rabby wallet, my PDAI disappeared." Yeah, Rabby, the bank. So again, I mentioned this in the Telegram. There's this like weird conspiracy against Pulse Chain, which to me is a huge green flag. When central systems come together and they're like, we're going to delist you, you're censored. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I know that feeling from Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. So, the financial censorship, that's what's happening. And I think it's interesting when it happens all at once, all in unison, right? All together. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This video you just watched is a repurposed session from the weekly live events that I host in the Master Heart community in the Crypto Freedom Academy. So if you're interested in joining these live sessions where you can ask me questions directly and receive personalized step-by-step guidance on your crypto journey, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram with the word begin and check your messages for a button to click and access some free videos and links. I'll see you on the other side.